special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It is a wonderful Monday. Actually, my co-host and my guest are wearing a couple of hats. I think he's used to that. Probably wears a lot more than a couple. I do have Wes Bowers. This is a paid political. Wes Bowers for Washington County Commissioner, and a paid political by Wes Bowers for Washington County Commissioner. Good morning, Wes.
Good morning.
A little bit of rain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rain. I think we're going to be in it for a couple days.
Bring it on, right?
No,
yeah.
It's bad for business in my line of work. But
yeah, no doubt. Well, I thought we had those April showers. Why are we, I thought, this is May flowers, right?
I'm ready for it to warm up. It's pretty outside and stay that way.
I think everybody is saying amen. Absolutely.
So it's from 80 to 38 in one swing. I'm done.
A little bit too much swinging.
Good weather.
Yeah, me too. Well, we just had Derby over the weekend, and big festivities, and actually turned out to be a nice Derby day. And the rain, in between the rains and stuff, it was all right. But anyway, now, after Derby's like usually the time for flowers and gardening, and I guess, and then of course we got Mother's Day. I just want to remind everyone this coming Sunday. That's right. All right. Good reminders there. Also want to thank our sponsors, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Medical Hospital, Temple & Temple, and Wes Bowers for Commissioner. All right, Wes, let's see. Isn't it crazy to think we're already in May? Isn't that?
Oh, I know. It flies by.
So much. And this is May the 4th. So I got to say it. May the 4th be with you. Okay? Sorry, Wes, I had to do that. This is Anti-Bullying Day.
Anti-Bullying Day.
I agree. No room for bullying. No. I agree with that. Bird Day. Any kind of certain bird you like?
It is turkey season.
Oh, there we go. Now, do you go turkey hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. We've actually got a little trip coming up, me and my son here shortly.
Aww.
Yeah, we try to take little trips throughout the year, and he likes to hunt, so.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we did it last year. It should be a good time.
I love that. One-on-one like that. That's fantastic. Those are memories he'll forever remember. Yeah.
Yeah. They grow up quick.
They do. I would have to say I love the eagle. I always think, sometimes if, every time like I see something in the sky, I'm trying to figure out, is that an eagle? Usually a good old hawk or buzzard.
Around to look at nowadays. They didn't used to be, but they brought them back pretty well.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too. This is also, hang on just a second. Okay. Great Lakes Awareness Day. A beautiful Great Lake. It shows a lake and then the sun coming up. How beautiful that is, right?
Never been there.
Okay. International Firefighters Day.
Yeah, with Jennifer doing the trustee thing, I'm well aware
Of
of
all
what
the
those
fires.
guys do.
Yeah, they do. Hats off to all of our firefighters. And from the volunteers, whenever they have like a fish fry or a chicken barbecue or anything, always support those volunteer firefighters.
Those guys do a ton of work for free.
They do. I
They
know.
really do.
I
They
know.
spend an awful lot of time in responding to calls and different things. It's at times a thankless job, but they do a lot.
Whenever you're like, whenever there's a fire and you see, the fire truck going, and then you see all of these vehicles that've got their own like independent like lights that are the volunteers, I get chills. I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Well, it's
how.
not just fire. Those guys respond to. I mean, they make a lot of emergency runs for
Right.
medical and car crashes and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff outside. Like I said, they're all volunteer. They're unpaid, or well, most of them anyway. We've got the Salem department, but
Right.
the rest of them around the county are all doing it for nothing.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Hats off to them, and we support them, and we thank them all the time. We should be saying thank you to them. Also, speaking of Salem, early Sunday morning they were doing a. This was really, you think about in our county, one of our tallest buildings is actually the courthouse, right? So they were doing ladder training to see if the ladder would hit all the way up. I mean, the
Yeah.
different, and that was pretty cool for to see that. So
Well, they just had was it yesterday? They just had a house fire on 135.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad one from the pictures I saw.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, again, International Firefighters Day. Hats off to all of our firefighters out there. Um, this is also International Respect for Chickens Day. Wes, you have chickens? Do you have chickens?
No, I don't. My brother has a bunch of chickens. He started raising meat chickens again, and I'm like, yeah, they're a lot of work.
They are a lot of work. I didn't realize how much personality, though, that chickens have. It's really funny, their personalities.
Oh, people name them and everything else.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah, and I've got a daughter that is, and it's a whole different world, and it's funny because every chicken she has a lot, have different personalities, but also like all of the different saying, like pecking order, or all of these different sayings that you've heard out through all the years. A lot of them have come from chickens.
Yeah. No, he's got a bunch of them. I forget, it's like 100 or 150.
Oh, well, that's more than.
Yeah, he's got a bunch.
Yeah, that is a bunch. Yeah, but I think it's cool. So International Respect for Chickens Day. This is Kind Day. Be Kind Day. I love that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit more depth here in a few minutes.
I love that. I love talking about being kind. Candied Orange Peel Day. Okay. National Kids Fitness Day. That's always important. Get out and get moving, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, their bodies were built to move, and they've got a lot of energy, so get them out and get them moving. Love that. And you, as a football coach, I'm sure you feel.
Yeah, I'm sure some kids would have some very interesting things to say. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of keeping kids moving and keeping them in shape.
I agree. National Meeting Planners Appreciation Day for all those that are planning meetings and organizing. That takes a lot of work. Yeah. National Orange Juice Day. Wes, you like orange juice?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody that really doesn't.
I
I didn't know they had their own day.
I know, isn't it crazy? National Weather Observers Day. How apropos for this, right? Let's see here. Also, this is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Yes. World Give Day. Every day is giving, right? We should always be giving, I feel. So, all right, those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy. And let's jump right in. And Wes, we're getting down to the wire. Actually, you lay your head down on the pillow tonight, and then, sorry about that. she came to see you. Anyway, and then up and at 'em and tomorrow. So what's your morning look like for tomorrow? What's your plan so far?
Oh, I'll be out and about at several of the polling stations. And just meeting people like usual, talking to them. I mean, I don't know if the weather's going to allow for much conversation. I'd say people will probably be running for the door by the way that the weather station's calling it. But we're going to find out. I mean, last day.
Yeah.
So it's been an experience. I'll put it like that. Doing this I tell everybody, they ask me what I think about it, and I uh, I don't have any issue doing the job, but the campaign, all that side of it is, it's an interesting process, and at times it can be a little exhausting. So yeah, I'm ready for tomorrow and just see where we go.
What's been the most surprising part of this journey from the time you signed up for this until now today?
Most surprising part, well, the the amount of time for one. I mean, if you know, I tell everybody, and because primarily they've asked me about the job, and I'm like, listen, I've only got two gears. I'm either going or I'm not, and I don't. I've just been that way with everything, whether it was business or sports or anything else I've ever done. I don't really know why my personality's that way, but I have a lot of problems with half measures, and I didn't want I didn't want this to be that way either. So I've done just about everything that I could do, and it's a lot. I mean, for the first time coming out and doing it, it is a lot of work. It is, but it, on some, I won't lie. On some sides, it's horrible. I mean, it really is. Like, I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. But I've gotten to meet so many new people, and that's the part that I really enjoy, is being able to, stop in Walmart and talk to somebody, or I go knock on somebody's door and I get to meet new people, and I get to hear their stories. And that's the part um, that I like, because it's everybody's different. Everybody comes from somewhere else. Everybody's got a different view or spin on what they think of the world or how we're living or what's important to them, and that's the part that I like to hear, because it kind of I feel more informed, I guess, because sometimes people say things and you're like, I never thought of it that way, but now that you're bringing it up, or you meet people that have a close relationship with certain issues, and they're a lot deeper into it than what you are, so getting their perspective is a lot of fun. It's interesting, and I've had a couple people run me through the ringer. I mean, I've had houses where I've sat for over an hour talking to people out on the road, and you know, and that's fine. But they really ran me down on, well, what do you think about this, and what do you think about that, and we just sit and have a conversation about whatever. And that part of it, I will miss. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, depending on if I get elected or not. If I get elected, then I'm hoping that people um, still see me as approachable as what they have whenever we're going through the campaign process. I think that's a big part of the uh, the problems that we're having now, is being being approachable. I think there's such a disconnect right now of, well, I'm not going to go to a meeting, or I'm not going to call this person, or I'm not going to raise my hand and ask a question because, well, they don't care. They're not going to let me speak anyway. And um, I hate that, you know. And I think it's a two-sided coin. I think that, with all the new people who are running for office, if you start seeing a lot of new faces, I think that those new faces, if they're elected, have an obligation to the people. But I also think that the people have an obligation to themselves as a group. I can do everything in the world that I can do. I can change meeting times. I can try to make things follow procedure. I can do all these things. But if people don't show up, and people, I'm not a mind reader. If decisions are made and you're always the after the fact person, or you want to get on social media and you just want to complain about things, um, that doesn't do anybody any good. We want people that are involved in the process. And I always talk about getting in front of things. If meetings are fixed where things are talked about in open forum, and you see the conversations happening between your elected officials, raise your hand, give your input. Hey, could I say something on that topic? And that person may be way smarter on that one particular subject than anybody sitting up front. And that happens a lot because everybody has their thing that they're involved with. And so I think that regardless of who wins all this stuff, I think there's responsibilities on both sides. You can't dump it on the people that are elected and expect them to know what you want without making your voice heard. And that means that at some level you have to be involved. You have to be present, and you have to make your voice known. And there's some that have started to do that, but I mean, this is probably not going to be a popular opinion. If elected as a commissioner, nothing would make me any happier than to walk into a meeting and see a packed room. I mean, and I know that that's not historically always been the way it is. They just assume nobody show up because it's a lot easier to move through your meeting. But I feel like if I show up and I've got every seat filled in the room and people are attentive and they're watching what's going on and conversations are being had, that's where good things happen. That's where progress happens, and you start to regain some of the trust in the community that we had once upon a time. And I think that that's a lot of what's been lost. So yeah, I mean, and I'm not too good to call people on it either. Whenever, if this thing happens and I end up being the guy, um, and we go, 8 months down the road, and we're like, okay, we're changing meeting times, we're making this more accessible, we really want to, and nobody shows, well, shame on you, because, you know, at that point, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. It's your turn. So it goes both ways. Everybody has to work together if you want a better product in the end.
I agree. I think I agree 100%. Let me go back to how normally, usually, when you have like meetings, and I'm talking about from county to city to, uh, you know, different meetings. Usually, people do not attend those. Those are not usually attended very well.
Nope.
And usually, if they are attended, it's usually because there's maybe trouble in River City. There's trouble,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just to come and get informed and be a part, that's such a rare an occasion to have citizens coming. But I'm with you. I like a packed house. I like people to know, and I feel like what you're saying, you're doing your part. I feel the same way in the fact of, it's so much better whenever you do have a bunch of, you know, citizens come out and the community come out and be a part, and then therefore they can stay right there in the front and stay in the knowledge and stay in the have all of the information right there. Or, and if there's a question, then they can ask that question. I'm with you, but I do believe that majority, if you go back through the history of meetings, they're not well attended.
Well, they're not, and there's not. And I'm not just talking about commissioners. I mean, this happens across the board. It happens in the school board. It happens in county
Yeah.
council. But people have sidebar conversations, or they, like in the case of the commissioners, everything is boilerplated. Like they use that executive session, and if you actually read on it, so they'll stamp every IC code on there that gives you authority to have an executive set. That's not how that works. That's why they call it boilerplate, just because you're rubber stamping it every week. You're actually supposed to list the IC code that you're operating under, depending on the topic of your executive session, whether it's pending legal, whether it's, we're talking about county employees. We've got an issue with this that we can't put out in the public for privacy reasons.
Hmm.
Obviously, you're supposed to list that code. You can't just by default. And there's a lot of other things that are, I mean, obviously there are other things being discussed, because whenever you walk out into a meeting and you're there for 2 minutes and all in favor, aye, and that, how did you come to that? There was conversation had somewhere in private, and a lot of that conversation should be happening out in the open. And that's what's got people upset, because we're spending a lot of money, we're doing a lot of things, we're making decisions, and they're like, how did that just happen? And it's nothing more than just having the conversation the way you're supposed to in an open general meeting. And I know I've watched school board meetings for Salem School Board. I've watched all these things, and it's, everything is talked about behind a closed door, and then you come out and the only thing you're accomplishing in your open meeting is taking a vote. And I'm like, what did you just tell anybody? You didn't. how do you expect them to get behind you? Because they don't even understand what's going on, because you had the telephone call last night, or you talked about it like you're not supposed to in executive session, or you did this or you did that. I mean, people, I think if people see commissioners, county councils, school boards actually kind of debating with one another and kicking the can back and forth on different topics, it lets people know where their heads are, and it and it they feel more a part of it. They feel they understand. It's like, well, this was brought up, and then this person brought up this problem that they could foresee, and and that in and of itself is what brings people to meetings. I mean, who wants to show up to watch people come out and vote on everything in 5 minutes? And have we taken the meeting minutes? Can we do it's very boring. There's not much information come out of it. I don't blame them for not wanting to show up, but hopefully, again, depending on how tomorrow goes, hopefully we can change that just a little bit, and that's
Well, sometimes
the goal.
topics are discussed the meeting before, and then they're voted, and then it's brought up for a second vote, and then it's brought up again and it's already been on the table, And I think sometimes that happens as well, that it goes ahead and waits for a second vote or to be voted on. It's brought up the maybe the month before, but there's been a month in between, and then it's voted on the next month. So usually that's something a lot of times, is a good practice sometimes not to make fast decisions, just to discuss it in the meeting before and then vote on it the next. So you have different ways of doing it, but I do believe that the public, it's good for everyone. It's good for the community to be involved and to be a part, and to come to the meetings and to express how they feel. And I think that hopefully we've seen more people putting their names in the hat this round, because I feel like we have a lot of people that are concerned and maybe want to see some difference.
We're going to see, and the voter turnout numbers in comparison to previous years will tell you how upset people are. I mean, that's my opinion, but if we're ranging 3,500 to 4,500 in years past, and all of a sudden we see 6,000 or 7,000 people coming out of the woodwork for a primary, that should tell you something. It means that what we've been doing is not working. They're upset, and they're trying to show you that, just like I said in all my videos online and everything else, their power is in their vote in the masses, and rightfully so. If you're not happy, vote the way that you think best. But when you see people that don't normally do that, doing that, there's a reason. And it's because the people that are sitting in those seats either aren't doing what they're supposed to do, or the perception from the public is that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And either way, it's a problem. If you don't have the trust of the people, it's almost like it's like opposing camps when you go to these things. Like, you've got the public on one side, and everybody behind the table on the other side, and it's just this constant warring back and forth of, I'm going to get you, no, I'm going to get you. How do you make any kind of progress in a situation like that when one side's trying to get rid of the other side, and the other side's trying to prove the other side wrong? And I'm like, they spend all their time doing that instead of putting it into things to make things better, and talking about new ideas or things that are on the table that need to happen, and actually progressing the county, or progressing the city, or progressing the school. It doesn't, again, I know I'm running for commissioner, but I see a lot of the same things across multiple meetings in the county, and it's a bad practice. I mean, it really is. And like I said, there are people out there that you will never make happy, and most of those people, they thrive on the drama. But I think, but those are a few. I think the bulk of people just want to be informed and understand, and sometimes that just means that you've got to take an extra 2 minutes and take an extra step, because maybe they weren't there the last meeting, or maybe the general public just doesn't really understand this thing, because monies and government procedures, they're complicated. There's a lot to it. And from the outside looking in, well, why are we doing that? That's dumb. And then when you break it down and say, well, we have to do it this way, and here's why. Just a quick 2-minute synopsis of how what the situation is. And they're like, oh, well, okay, well that makes sense. And then we move on. Well, now you don't have somebody upset with you. Now you have somebody that's informed of the process you're going through, and they're like, well, I can't say as I like that, but if that's what we're supposed to do, then I understand why you're doing what you're doing. And you haven't lost any of that trust that I was talking about. And I mean, quite honestly, we as a county do a very poor job of that, in my opinion. So.
Well, I think you're right. I think that explaining, because sometimes, it's not just one big. I know we've talked about this several times, but I feel like for those maybe for some reason that didn't hear us or missed it. So I apologize for those that have heard it over and over. But like different boards have like buckets that they can take from this and then take from this and another bucket, and it's not one big bucket. It's not one trough.
Yeah.
It's a bucket that can go that's earmarked for this, a bucket that's earmarked for this.
Exactly.
And sometimes like when you're doing something, it looks like, well, why could you not just do this with the money? But that's not earmarked. That money can't be used for that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that gets a little confusing.
It does. People overlap their thought process. I mean, they might drive by the school and see some kind of project going on, and they're like, well, why are we spending money on that and not on our roads? Well, it's because the school has their own money that comes down from the state, and the county has their own. But, if you're not aware of the processes, then you don't understand how to make the distinction. So, just as much as your elected officials are there to try to help guide and represent the people and make the best decisions, you're also there to educate. And that's a big part that gets lost, and that's something that I've tried very, very hard to do during the campaign is I always start by saying, okay, here's the thing we're looking at, and we kind of talk about that for a minute, and then I tell you what's happening and what my position on that is, or what my opinion on that is, because I can tell you my opinion all day long, and yeah, you're going to nod your head, but if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then how can you say that I have an opinion you agree with? You can't, because you don't, I always tell people you can't play chess if you don't know the rules. And, unfortunately sometimes when we really get in the weeds with different things, I mean, we've talked about a lot of stuff since I've been campaigning. We've talked about, contracts, we've talked about employees, we've talked about insurance, we've talked about grants, we've talked about, there's a lot of stuff governmentally that goes into the things that I just mentioned. And sometimes you just have to clue people into that's how this works, But the good side is I found that I'm usually pretty blunt whenever I say things, and because you just say it for what it is. If it's ugly, you call it ugly. If it's not, then you just put it out there for what it is. And I found that the more that I do that, the more people seem to appreciate it because they understand it, and I tell everybody, the public has been in the dark on so many fronts for so long, and when you're just out there and you're trying to make it and you see your taxes continually go up, you see stuff, getting more expensive, and then, I drive down the road and I see this happening and I don't understand it. Why wouldn't you be upset? Because you can't even put into words why the things that are happening to you are happening, because you don't understand all of them. That's at every level. That's at a county, a state, a federal level. Generally, unless you just have a lot of time to put into it, people just don't understand. They're like, oh, my taxes went up again. Yay. Get to give the government some more of my money, and with groceries and fuel and everything else costing what they cost right now, that's an uncomfortable situation to be in. And I sympathize with people, I really do. especially when you're blind to it all. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's one thing to say, well, I understand this and I know why it's happening, but man, they're making it awful rough on me to say, well, things are really rough and I have no idea why this is this happening because, you know, we had to do something down the road that I don't agree with. Are they spending my money frivolously, or is this happening just because of inflation? It's just a natural flow of things and it's going to level back out. Like, I don't know. I just know they're taking my money again and I don't like it. And that's why I talk about the communication across the board and letting people in and saying, okay, this is why these things are happening. And there's been, just like what's happening in the commissioner meeting now, Justin and Ashley are going from I talked about the growth partnership last time, and I made a video about it, and I reached out to those people, and they were really good about it, and they're coming to the meeting and going to start, giving updates and reports on this is how this works, and this is what the growth partnership is trying to do for the county right now, so that people get it. And again, depending on how tomorrow goes, if I'm the guy sitting in the chair, there's a whole lot of other groups that are going to be getting phone calls to show up to those meetings. and that's what draws the public in too, because when you got, commissioners or county council or whoever having open conversations, you've got 4 or 5 groups at every meeting that are saying, hey, this is who we are and this is what we're doing. There's a lot of good information coming out of these things that people want. Well, they're a lot more apt to show up than the meeting where you come out and you say, I'm going to spend a bunch of money. All in favor? Aye, aye. Thanks for coming out, folks. And, that's it. Make sure you put it in the minutes. We got to go. And it's just not the way you do it. I don't think it's a good way. And you'll never have the backing of your constituents. And people are skeptical. I mean, they're going to be skeptical of me. I've got an awful lot of support right now, but I mean, for me to think that I could potentially step into that office and the things I do aren't going to be scrutinized by the public, oh no. They're just waiting. Let's see if this guy is who we thought he was going to be, or is he just going to be, one more that keeps us in the dark. And yeah, I mean, I'm not off the hook by any means myself, and I don't mean to make it sound like that, but people are they're leery. They're very gun shy, and if you've been bit enough times, I can't say as I blame them. Because it's the problems that we have didn't get here in the last term or the term before that. They didn't show up overnight. They're not going to get fixed overnight. Some of this stuff has been around for decades. And it's always just chalked up as, well, that's how we've always done it. Well, if it's dumb, it's dumb. And it doesn't matter if you did it once or you did it 500 times. It's still not very bright. So, and those are some of the things hopefully we can address, again, depending on how it goes tomorrow.
Right. Well, I think you bring up some good food for thought, and I definitely think that and I think it gets let's get real. It gets confusing sometimes about like how the counties broke I guess divided, so to speak, as far as like districts to townships to all of that sometimes gets a little confusing, and I think too knowing exactly how some of the I guess funding money and I feel like more people right now feeling the pull of buying groceries, buying gas. Everybody really is feeling those huge, pinches of this, right? And then you go, and then you want to know how your government or what is our community doing, in this. So I feel like that's brought more people attending or paying attention to. Don't you feel that everybody's more now eyes are watching this to see how it goes and how the money is spent and if it's spent wisely?
It is, and things bleed over onto others. When things are going great, you won't hear anything from anybody because people are out and they're living their lives and they do what they want. You're You're kind of like the whipping boy. You know, you only hear when things go bad,
Yeah.
and people need somebody to beat up on, and that's and you know I'm gonna say something here. I hope people don't take it the wrong way. I'm okay with that. You know, if you don't have pretty broad shoulders, you shouldn't be trying to get these jobs. If you don't have thick skin, you shouldn't be trying to get these jobs. When people say all this little stuff about me, or people, oh well, that guy, or this guy, it doesn't bother me because they're venting their frustrations about the fact that the diesel I just put in my truck is almost $7 a gallon, or eggs are $6 a carton, and a year ago they were two.
Yeah.
And I've got 5 kids at the house to feed every morning. People, when those kind of reoccurring things come up, and that's not stuff that we affect as a county, but we're the ones in front of you.
Mhm.
Your senators, your congresspeople, your president, even your state reps, they're not here, they're not in front of you. But your local elected politicians, they're here in front of you.
Sure.
And there's a certain amount of, you have to let people vent. We see it all the time now. Again, it's more like two enemy camps right now, which I think is wrong. But there will be times when people show up and something has happened, and they show up to a meeting with the sole intent of just letting you have it because they are hot.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just need to let that person go. You give them their 5 minutes and you let them vent their frustrations out and say, okay, well, now that we've got that out, let's actually, I wasn't aware of that, or let's look at the root of this problem, or let me explain to you why that's happening that maybe you don't understand quite yet. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but you as a person in that kind of position, whether you're a commissioner, county council, you're a mayor, you're whatever, a school board member, when things happen, you're going to take that weight for a lot of other people. And people talk to me about it and they say, well, why would you want to do it? I'm like, I've been doing this my entire life. I mean, from, I left high school, I went to the military. I was in the military very long. Most of my career was spent at war, so there was that aspect of it. And then, you come home and you're running a business and you're trying to not only make a living but fix things for other people. And in the kind of professions that I do, people don't call you if they don't have a problem. So you show up and they're I've had a lot of cases where I'll go to somebody's house or go to their business and they are just beside themselves because they have zero understanding of what is happening. All they know is that their day or their business or whatever is currently being wrecked, and you are the one that's supposed to save them. So, I got to spend my first 20 minutes talking to them, kind of walking them back from the cliff before we can get to the part of, okay, this is what we need to do. And this is honestly, this is no different. Sometimes you have to de-escalate things and bring them down and say, okay, this is not productive. Let's talk about this and let's work to a fix. It's having those broad shoulders that I talked about, because you're taking their stress, you're taking the weight, you're taking all these things. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it on the school board. They make a decision and all of a sudden you get a bunch of angry parents at the gate with pitchforks, and they're like, oh, the school board, they all need to go.
Yeah.
Burn it down tomorrow. And maybe you did something to deserve that. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're just the one taking it. And it, like I say, it happens. So for, everybody else that's out there and they're running like me and they're trying to get in office, just be prepared.
Well, I definitely think you have to have thick skin. 100% agree with that. And you have to be honest to yourself, and know what that you're doing right, and you're trying to be the best, I guess, elected official possible, and know that the community trusted, when they elect you, they trust you to make those good decisions. And I think the part that I have noticed as being on the board was the best part is being able to have those conversations with the community and explain and let the people know where, why something is being done, or why that money is being spent on that and not can't be spent on this, and just explain, keeping in front of it. And also, we have brought, community members in, which have been really nice to help, maybe making some decisions and seeing what they would like to, getting their opinions. And I feel like that's too, getting more of the community involved is a good thing, in the fact of they've got great ideas, and then also they can be a part.
Well, you have, you know, I, I, I have a saying that I use all the time, and business, football, politics, doesn't matter. Humility is a learned skill, and if you if you continuously think that you're the best and the brightest in every situation, you are destined to fail. And that's why I say that, and I was forced to learn this way early on in an environment where it mattered a whole lot. Um, Understanding where people's strengths are and how to utilize that is the definition of being a good leader. I mean, nobody is the best at everything, and there are people in this community that are very, very intelligent on certain things. And I understand a lot of things because of the job that I do, and just kind of the way that I've lived my life. But there are other things that I'm completely ignorant to. It's not been so long ago that well, what's a good example? Oh, you remember when the solar farm debate came up, and it's still up.
Sure.
But you don't hear a lot about it. I watched a video just like I make, trying to educate with Adam Dufour, and he has done his due diligence. He's done his research. He's incredibly smart on the topic, and I am not. So, if I was sitting in a position where I had sway to help make decisions, um, why would I not contact him and say, hey, we need to meet. I want you to come to a meeting. I want you to speak in an open forum. We've got some questions, and we think maybe you're the guy that can answer them. And maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But from all indications on that topic, he's incredibly educated. And for the next topic that you come to, I'm sure there's someone else in the community that's just like that has just a ton of information on that subject, whether it be by their job because of how they've chosen to use their time. And I don't ever see us reaching out to those people ever, ever, ever. You want to sit up front and you want to say, oh well, I know everything. No, you don't. In the position that I'm running for, you look at the current board. You had one guy that did a lot of work ran his own business, did a lot of work for NDOT. You got another guy that comes from a family that sells insurance, and another guy that did HVAC. So I'm pretty sure that there's going to be things that are outside of any of their wheelhouses collectively. And that kind of goes back to bringing the county council in, because those are elected officials, and you have other people in other specialties. I talk about 10 heads are better than 3 in a lot of cases, and even when it's not required, having those conversations to kind of bounce things off one another, because there may be somebody out there that their profession gives them, they hold information on a particular topic that maybe none of the commissioners have, but that one person sitting on the council, that's what they do for a living. Why would I not listen to that? Why would I stand up and, oh, you don't know, I'm going to do it my way? Why? That's because we're just in the habit of making dumb decisions. Is that, and that's where I talk about using the people that we have and reaching out into our community. This is not a one-sided thing. This is not I'm going to go vote for this person that I think will just magically fix everything for me. We need community involvement. We need the best and brightest among us to step up when asked or when needed. We need the groups, all these boards that we have in the county that control funds, all these people that are out here doing things. We need to be able to reach out to them and use their information and use their expertise and have them involved to a point so everyone else is at a minimum informed. That's how things get better. Period. There's no other way around that. When you keep things to yourself, and you know, you got three guys sitting up there that are, nope, we run the world, and that's that. If you don't like it, don't show up. And that's honestly, that's the perception from the majority right now. I mean, what I just said right there. If you don't like it, don't come. We're going to do what we want to do. Well, that doesn't do anything for anybody, in my opinion. And again, they're not the only ones. There's a lot of other stuff in this county that works that way. And I would like very much to see that change, where you see people show up and they're smiling, not somebody show up with a stack of papers like we're going into a courtroom battle. That's what I hope to see. But with that, there are responsibilities for the public too. And you talked earlier, you mentioned something about what is this Be Kind Day?
Yeah.
So before this whole thing goes down tomorrow, I've got a lot of support in the community out there, and there are others that have their own support from different people. And that's our political process. That's the way it should be, is you vote for the person you think is most aligned with your thoughts, that you think will do the best job. And if it's me, great, I appreciate it. If it's not, use your vote accordingly. And I completely support and understand that, even if it means that you're voting for the other guy, because that's your right. And as long as you're using that right and you're getting out and voting, I'm 100% okay with that. But with that being said, if your guy loses, or if you don't like the outcome, please be kind to one another. And remember that these are people that you live around, your friends, your neighbors, the parents of kids who your kids go to school with. Like, it is not worth fracturing relationships over politics. And we see it more and more divisive every day, and I don't want to be anywhere near the reason that you don't talk to that person that you've known for 5, 10, 50 years because you got into it about a political race that I was in. I don't like that, and I would just, everybody kind of approach it the way I'm approaching it, is we ran the process, and what came out of it, and apparently that's what the majority of us want, because they voted that way, and that's what we got. If you don't agree with it, then the next time it comes back around, then you use your vote accordingly. And you just kind of look at it for what it is. But I hate when people, especially on social media, people are really bad about it on social media, and they get really ugly, or they involve other people's families or their kids, or people that aren't even involved. I'm running for office. My wife, my kids, they're not, they have nothing to do with the office that I'm running for. But when people start arguing, especially from behind a keyboard, you see it. I mean, it gets ugly. So again, I will ask everyone out there, whether you're a supporter of mine or you're not, please just be kind to each other as we get through this, because it's simply just not worth it.
Say it louder for the people in the back, Wes. Be kind, right? No, I really, you couldn't say that any better. I think that's something that sometimes we lose. Let's get back to the basics. What are we doing here? What is this about? We all live in this community, and we're all neighbors. We all are wanting the best for this community. We all are wanting to see this community be the best it can be. We all want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. And I think that that's something that, when you put your name in the hat and you step out, that there's going to be, like you said, no matter what, there's going to be people that want to kiss you. There's people that's going to want to kick you. So you're going to have all those opinions. But I have to agree 100%. When the polls close at 6, and everybody, it takes a little while for the precincts to come in, and at the end of the night, I feel like it's going to be a long night tomorrow night, but I feel like then everyone has spoke. Let's accept it, and let's support whoever's in that
Agreed.
job, and whoever's in that position. Let's give them our support. Let's not be let's be kind. Let's be supportive. Let's maybe help them. If they welcome that, let's have some conversations, and let's make it the best county that we possibly could make it.
Well, when you move through this, and honestly, it gets worse the higher that you go. The higher you go in politics, at a federal level, oh, I mean, they love nothing more than to sling mud at one another. And I feel that it's non-productive. Now, you know, there's been things happen within my own campaign where I call it ribbing. You know, we rib each other a little bit, or but most of it's based on facts. And if you look back, I've got one of the guys. He likes to gig me a little bit. Well, he's younger and he's never been in office. That's the whole. You remember where the whole rookie thing came out, and I still think that's funny. Even if I lose tomorrow, I'll still think it's comical. And I give people a hard time over being, you're a career politician. I've said that many times, not just one of them, but a couple of them on there, and that's not, that's just a fact, and we've dug at each other throughout the campaign. A little bit, but I will tell you this: at the end of the night, tomorrow night, even though nothing that has been said though has gotten. I didn't talk about anybody's wife. I didn't slander anybody's family. I didn't none of that. We're just talking about your resume essentially, and what we've done. But what I will say is, at the end of the night, if I don't win, I'm going to turn around and shake their hands and say, well, it's been real, and and we're going to move on, and I'm going to go back the next day to what I was doing. And if I win, then I'm going to shake their hands regardless. And I guess I got some things to prepare for, and there's more work to be done. And that's just the way that you have to look at it. I mean, and I wish that more looked at it that way, because we haven't went to that level. I sincerely hope that the general public doesn't take it to that level, because it's counterproductive. Regardless of who gets into these seats, if you want things to get better, you're going to have to get behind them. And they need your support. I mean, like I said, people have broad shoulders, but you stack enough weight on sooner or later, and that's where sometimes they need to feel like they're doing the right thing. They need to, have some people behind them, sure, saying, "Hey, just keep pushing. It's getting better." And it is what it is. But no, I'm just ready to be there.
Right. Well, I think, and I think that the challenges that anybody running for an office, may face next year, I think it's going to be I don't, of course, know 100%, but I'll step out a little bit. It could get tighter a little bit. Budgets could get a little tighter, a little bit more on that. And I think that that's something that anyone in office could use the support, or maybe, suggestions, or if someone has, isn't clear on something, use that communication skills, if you will, to be transparent. I know that's not you don't want crazy about that word, sorry, but also to be honest and to be transparent, and to be able to talk to the community and get the community's input on it, and also explain, maybe, we've talked about this, maybe they don't have time to go to the meeting and sit for the hour and a half, but they have time to hit the hot topic buttons. We discussed this. This is kind of the discussion of this,
Yeah.
discussion of this, and I like the idea of the commissioners and the council. I think the 10. I think that working together is such a good thing. I think that just like you go back. I know I'm on a roll here, but like Gladiator, when everybody got in a circle and put their backs, to each other and came out, it was a lot better and they were a lot more powerful than just one individual. It's a team. And also, just like you go back to this community, our team, it's a team, it's a community, it's a team, it's group. And here's the thing, every one of us would do anything for each other, at the end of the day. I've seen that with this station. I've seen, one family, didn't have wood. You have 8 different households bringing wood to one family. All they have to do is tell their needs. So I know our community is, and just with when there's been trauma, tragedy, everybody feels it. I mean, our hearts hurt. We hurt with them. And I do believe that's all genuine, and I do believe we are a caring community. But then when it comes to sometimes things that maybe they don't know or felt like that there's something being done wrong, then it can bring out the not so pretty side of a person.
Well, I made a video about that a while back, and that's the way it used to be here. I listened to my parents, my grandparents talk, and we grew up in the country, up on the north end of the county, and I listened to them talk about the way that it used to be, and people helped each other. Even especially with my grandparents, they talk back then. People didn't have a lot, and
Right.
but they counted on their community, on their churches, on different groups. They kind of banded together, and it just helped everybody make it. And I want to get back to that, but at the baseline of living that way, where people are willing to help someone in need, people are willing to step out of their comfort zone for their neighbor. Um, there has to be trust, and it's just been so eroded that it's just sad. I mean, it really is. I mean, the the amount of animosity and hostility toward some of the people sitting in these seats is like, my God, how did we, again, we didn't get here overnight. It's not going to be an overnight fix. So anybody that's thinking that out there, I'm here to tell you, I don't care who sits in the seat. It's going to take some time. But I would very much like to see it go back that way. People happy. I guess that's the easiest way. When you see smiles approaching you, or you see smiles walking in the door of a meeting, that's your indicator as an elected official, as a leader, wherever you're at. If you're a manager at work, when you see people come in with smiles on their face, that's your indicator that you're doing something right. And when you don't see that, question your methods.
Wes, we're getting close on time. So this is your last time on Coffee Club before the election, and I want to give you this time to just kind of just say, I guess, why should someone vote for Wes Bowers for Washington County Commissioner?
Oh, why should you vote for me? This is that beloved used car pitch that I always talk about.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like I've told you before, I've put out there who I am. I've put out my letters. I've put out my videos. I've been to people's doors, and I hope that people see things the way that I see them. And if you do, then please support me tomorrow and give me your vote. If you don't, and you think the other guy will do a better job, then vote for him. I mean, that's, I'm not gonna sit here and give you 10,000 reasons why you shouldn't. If you're convinced that he's gonna do a better job than I am, and his views fall more in line with what your views are, then use your vote the way that it was intended, and that's how you speak your mind. I mean, and I'm not going to tell you to do any otherwise or try to convince you otherwise. That's our process. I served for it. I fought for it. I believe in it, and that's just, we'll see where it lands. I don't like the used car salesman tactic. I don't like well, this is actually why I'm a better candidate, because I feel an inherent need to serve my community. No, everybody knows who these people are. You know who I am. If you fall in line with me, then I'd appreciate your vote. But, the key thing here is vote. Show up tomorrow. Don't sit back. I tell people all the time, your right to complain about things directly corresponds to if you get out and you do your job tomorrow. Because if all you can do is complain and you won't get out and go to your local poll and cast your vote and actually make your complaints heard, I don't want to hear it, because you're not doing your end. So please, everybody, tomorrow, get out and vote. If you see me at the polls, providing that it's not raining straight down, I'm a pretty approachable guy. Feel free to stop and chat with me if you've got questions. Again, that's been my favorite part of this so far, is meeting all the new people. So hopefully I'll meet some more tomorrow. But I'll be moving around to various polls throughout the day. So hopefully I see several of you out there.
All right, wonderful. This has been a paid political program paid for Wes Bowers for Washington County Commissioner. Thank you, Wes, for this. We need to thank our other sponsors: Meadowview Healthcare Center, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's, Fox Perley Wealth Management, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monument, Springer and Springer Insurance, Schneck Medical Hospital, and Temple & Temple, and Wes Bowers for Washington County Commissioner. Thank you, Wes. Let's have the best Monday ever, all right?
Thank you.
Louisville's longest-running pro sports team is back. Come check out Louisville Bats Baseball at Louisville Slugger Field. Family-friendly entertainment at budget-friendly prices inside the best minor league ballpark in America. See the Cincinnati Reds of tomorrow up close and personal today. And the Bats promotional schedule is something for everyone. For a full look at the 2026 schedule and to plan your day at the ballpark, talk to a real person at 502-212-BATS or head to batsbaseball.com.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through March 31st, get up to $180 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card. Available at Washington County Tire Shop in Salem. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See BridgestoneRewards.com for details.
Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Bourbon and Beyond is back. The world's largest music, spirits, and culinary experience returns to the heart of Louisville, Kentucky, featuring Foo Fighters, Mumford & Sons, Chris Stapleton, Dave Matthews Band, Queens of the Stone Age, Casey Musgraves, plus Red Clay Strays, Hootie and the Blowfish, The War on Drugs, Foster the People, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, Counting Crows, Jesse Wells, Jesse Murph, Goose, and so many more. Bourbon and Beyond returns to Kentucky Expo Center September 24th through 27th with access to the thrills of Kentucky Kingdom Theme Park. Don't miss the best 4 days of the year, blending world-class music, food, bourbon, and more. Passes are on sale now at bourbonandbeyond.com.
Hi, this is Wes Bowers, and I'm a Republican candidate for District 2 Commissioner.
You better listen up. Hear what we say. 'Cause I'm here to tell you. You gotta find a way. Yeah.
Broadcasting from the real world, The Rick Burgess Show.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Thank you for being with us as we start a brand new day. Speedy, Greg Adler, all here. New week kicking. So thank you for joining us.
Still more to come on the program. If you missed part of it, catch it on the daily archives on the podcast and YouTube channel. All righty. So as we start this hour over the weekend, Greg, I don't know if you've heard from your son or not. He had to be heartbroken. Spirit Airlines did not make it.
I know.
Taylor.
Frequent flyer miles
Oh,
with Spirit.
my goodness. And
Listen, there was a time when he looked for a bargain.
Oh, yeah. Spirit Airlines, Babylon B with a good one before they shut down, saying that passengers on Spirit Airlines disappointed their flights were not canceled. So
the funniest thing is the time there was snow in the area, and he was in Texas trying to get back to Birmingham, and every airline has said, "I'm sorry, we're not going," except Spirit. He said, "No, we're in." Because I texted, I said, "I guess you're getting delayed." He goes, "Oh no, we're going." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, Spirit's still going."
Didn't you also tell me one time they were delayed for just a minute and somebody came on with duct tape?
Yeah, they had to fix an armrest with some duct tape.
Then he ran off and they shut the door and we're going.
Yeah.
So apparently, Spirit Airlines shut down.
They would say stuff like, "Let's wish our captain happy birthday for his 97th birthday," and stuff like over the speaker.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, of course, this is flying. But anyway.
So if you had something booked with him, you're just out of luck.
Well, they said other airlines were saying, "We will take you at discounted rates.
Okay.
We'll try to help you if we can find room for you." Apparently, one of the pilots from Spirit is now working for United. Did you see this? So, I mean, the man's hurt. He's going to survive, right? The trucker?
Yeah, minor injuries.
So, is it Newark Airport?
Yes.
In Jersey?
Yes.
So,
Been there.
I have to try to avoid it, but I have. The United flight comes down too low because there is a place where it comes across the interstate and clips a guy in a truck.
Yes.
Going to land.
Wow.
The footage is crazy. And it may
be a little low.
It may have been the plane hit one of the light poles.
That's right, it does. You're right.
And then the light pole hits the bakers.
Well, doesn't the man that's like, pull up, you're too low, you're too low, pull up, pull up.
Are you talking about inside the airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah, where was that guy?
Or the co-pilot?
Whoever. Watch this.
Look, he's singing to himself.
That's even better.
Look,
He has no idea.
And then
he's having a great day.
Oh, my. Did you hear the sound of the plane? Did you hear the sound of the plane
That man's having a great day.
Yeah, he's singing to himself.
And he's in the left lane. He needs to get over. He's bouncing.
Oh! He has no idea. So unexpected.
Right in the middle of his song.
So they have to come down. I mean, but to all of your points, Newark is not a new airport.
Pull up.
I mean, people have been flying into Newark, and there has to be some, hey, when you're coming over those interstates, watch those light poles. I mean, so
you got to be way low if you.
I think it hits the light pole. The light pole now comes down with the force of an airplane on the truck.
Good gracious.
You don't want to hit anything while approaching.
No. How about this? You can't clip things coming in. You know what I mean? That's standard.
Did it mess the plane up? I guess it landed.
It did land.
It landed.
Oh yeah.
That is weird because go back, Adler, if you don't mind. And okay, so the light poles there he's going through. Okay, they're pretty high.
Yeah, they're higher
going
than
through, but when he gets to the
they've been there.
Right.
But now they're lower. Yeah. You notice how lower they are now?
They are.
Yeah,
It's by the airport.
What?
Oh, wow.
How about that screaming eagle?
But back to what you're saying, Rick, that's probably why the light poles went way lower.
Yeah.
Why?
And it still hit one of those?
That's what. This news package says it hits the light pole.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it right here. We got the facts.
Flight 169 flying dangerously low to the ground during descent and striking a light pole.
No passengers or crew were injured, but the flight path calls into question the current safety of aviation.
Now, United Airlines confirms one of their jets went too low and hit a light pole. Numerous drivers posted about the incident. One eyewitness calling us to describe how shocking the moment was. The Boeing 767 was arriving from Venice. We're told there were 221 passengers on board.
Oh my God. There's Spirit, juicy Spirit.
Guys, how do you get that low? How do you get that low?
I don't know.
Wow.
By the way, some people saying if he'd moved to the right lane, it might have killed him. Left lane might have saved him. But anyway,
very few moments.
Yes.
That left lane is okay for a truck.
People say, what if he was singing Jet Airliner?
Yeah, he was having a good day, man.
Was he singing?
Yeah, he's like
hauling them cakes around.
Oh yeah.
But by the way, that they could hear the planes.
I mean, what in the world's that? Oh yeah.
Go Jet Airliner.
Oh my gracious, he got wiped out.
Again,
he's a lucky man. That's a lucky man.
To quote Brian Regan, he's a me monster at the lunch table.
He is. Yes.
I mean, he's got a great story. You got to survive him, but if you survive him, what a story!
Wow.
I wouldn't want to have to tell it because I'm hurt and I got hit by a plane. But
I don't want to own that story.
No. That's
I'd rather be the listener.
Is this one of those things where it's always weird? And I've seen companies do this before. Like, would they approach this guy and say, "We'll give you free tickets on United"? He's like, "What the?" Free tickets.
Okay,
here's the plane that nearly killed me.
Yeah.
Y'all can't even land without hitting the light pole.
Right.
Here's a shot of just
thank you for this.
a normal day.
Oh,
Here's
normal.
It's not. This is not the wreck. I keep looking for this angle of the wreck, but this is just a normal landing.
That's pretty low.
And you can see
really
it is
low.
like, wow.
That's really low.
That's so low.
What are we doing?
Get low.
Yeah, right.
Wow. That's
It just keeps getting closer and closer as it's coming
so
in
low.
at you. Yeah.
You can wave at the pilot. It's so low.
Well, that's probably why even him hearing the sound he wasn't all that concerned.
What's it, a hawk?
Everybody
like a bird of prey.
Let me tell y'all, right now that truck has so many lawyers' cards on it. I mean, Shannara's got like 10 on it. I mean, you think they can't wait to be the lawyer on that case? You know, because when you sit down with everybody, this will go straight to mediation. United.
Well, not only the driver, but the company the driver works for. They're in on it now.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. This is the thing where
they're all going after
where United just says, okay, everybody up. Let's all decide who gets checks.
Right.
Everybody up. Y'all come on. Hey, United. Let's go look around. Let's all come on out. They got us. Okay. We can't be hitting light poles and putting light poles on top of trucks. We can't.
That's like really low.
You know how every company has a list of things that shouldn't happen and then a list of things that can't happen?
That's definitely on
the shouldn't happen list. Hey, we need to try to take off on time if at all possible. That really shouldn't happen, us being late. Now, coming down too low, hitting light posts coming into Newark and slamming it on top of trucks, that can't happen. No. That's on the can't happen list.
Well, that's a kind of a poor design there. I mean, that you got, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And the pilot's going, I got to get low.
Yeah, but
you get in, but not that low.
How low can you go?
And they're glad it wasn't a Spirit Airlines because they'd never see their money if it was a Spirit Airlines. 17,000 people lost their jobs. And that's just the airline, not mentioning all the peripheral industries. It's not good.
We'll be right back.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
The mega sale's going on now at MyPillow.com/BigVox. Classic MyPillows normally around $50. They're yours for $14.98. The 6-piece My Towel sets normally go for $70. Now they're $34.98 in a huge assortment of colors. The best sheets you'll ever sleep on, MyPillow's Giza Dream bed sheets typically retail for around $110. Right now, $29.98. Head to MyPillow.com/BigVox. Use that code for employee pricing and free shipping as part of their mega sale. We love Helix Sleep mattresses, and there's a deeper discount this month for Memorial Day savings at HelixSleep.com/BigVox. That's 27% off site-wide. Now, if your spine needs a little TLC, then you need a Helix mattress. Each one is designed for specific sleep positions and comfort, and they'll let you try it for up to 120 nights risk-free. Take the 2-minute Helix Sleep Quiz to get matched with the perfect mattress. Go to HelixSleep.com/BigVox and get 27% off.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1926 $10 gold Indian coins have been found. These gorgeous 1926 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1926 $10 gold Indian coin from the exclusive Anniversary Gold Collection, struck 150 years after America declared its independence. These 1926 dated gold coins are still in uncertain circulated condition. Call 1-888-201-7071 to secure your exclusive 1926 Special Anniversary Gold Collection $10 Indian coin. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus over a $125 value and free shipping with every order. Call 1-888-201-7071 now to secure your 1926 $10 gold Indian coins before they sell out. Call 1-888-201-7071. Don't wait. Call now.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. This Mother's Day, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots to American-made felt hats to intricate leather jackets. Our in-store experts can guide you as you shop, helping you find the perfect gift, assisting with boot sizing, and providing in-store styling. Share a piece of the American spirit with her this Mother's Day. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
The mega sale's going on now at MyPillow.com/BigVox. Classic My Pillows normally around $50. They're yours for $14.98. The 6-piece My Towel sets normally go for $70. Now they're $34.98 in a huge assortment of colors. The best sheets you'll ever sleep on, My Pillow's Giza Dream bed sheets typically retail for around $110. Right now, $29.98. Head to MyPillow.com/BigVox. Use that code for employee pricing and free shipping as part of their mega sale. With Mother's Day coming up, it's a great time to find a gift that actually fits into your mom's everyday life. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, packed with upgrades. They've got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic design that stays put. Celebrate the moms in your life. Just go to buyraycon.com/BigVox and get 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. Buyraycon.com/BigVox for 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic.
Yes, there are women who decided to marry them. The Rick Burgess Show.
And by the way, they're very happy women. Okay? We're back. Thank you for being with us today. Starting another week. Glad you're here. If you missed in the show today, you know the drill. The daily archives will be out shortly after the live show on our podcast channel and on our YouTube channel. Over the weekend, a brand new Strange Encounters came out. Also, a new Rick and Bubba's Greatest Hits and Radio Gold also came out over the weekend, wherever you get podcasts. Also, if you're looking for the full Strange Encounters experience, remember it's its own world now. It's got its own YouTube channel. It has shorts and long versions and full shows. Go to Strange Encounters Rick. Search that on YouTube and then subscribe. Instagram, TikTok, Strange Encounters Pod. And on Facebook, Facebook.com/Strange Encounters. Couple of things to discuss. Speedy, I need to focus on you here with a couple of things here. First of all, you and prime right now. This mushroom thing. I'm pulled in now.
You are.
Someone also asking, was that a female pilot on United? Okay,
all
right. We're not getting into all that.
Pull up. Don't you tell me what to do.
Yeah, mind your business.
I can't even think. Just stop talking to me. Let me land.
You're distracting me.
But yeah, and somewhere in the middle of it, they'll say, "You don't even like my parents." Well, where'd that come from? But anyway, so I have a couple things for you, sir.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't know why, of the four of us, it seems like you likely probably know the most about banana ball, maybe. And I know none of us know.
You putting banana ball on speed?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
He knows about it.
I'm confused by the current state of banana ball.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the part I can follow with no trouble, what you just told us about. Kyle Field.
Yeah.
They go, and everybody likes to go see this show.
Yeah.
They packed it out over 100,000. People are loving the banana ball show.
Yep.
That part I fully understand.
Got it.
I don't. But then the other day, a highlight comes up, and it says banana ball, and they're playing at a high school stadium, and there's two teams out there playing each other. Neither one of them look like the banana ball team. What is this?
I think you're probably thinking of banana ball championship league.
What is it?
You got Savannah Bananas, Party Animals, Firefighters, Texas Tailgaters, who they played, I believe, at Kyle Field, touring nationwide. They started in February, they go to September of this year, and it looks like a full travel schedule, and they just travel around playing each other in this league.
But that's not the big thing that happens at Kyle Field.
Kyle Field was the Savannah Bananas playing the Texas Tailgaters.
Do the other teams just play on their own in smaller venues?
The Texas Tailgaters could play the Firefighters or whatever.
And that wouldn't be at a big venue because the Bananas aren't out there.
Well, right. But
I'm telling you, Speedy, I saw them playing in a high school field.
Okay.
Where they were just...
Was that, like just a pop-up surprise show or something?
And it was full, but it was only... They probably only held...
the way the field does.
It probably only held...
Yeah, but they have a net goes
a few thousand people at the most.
Yeah.
So I'm confused.
This is insane here.
I'm confused about this.
That's
It looks like a smaller version of them that they're not even attempting to pack out the big stadiums like this show.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. There seems to be multiple banana ball things.
The Texas Tailgaters did beat the Savannah Bananas at Kyle Field. I did see where they did beat them.
Look, they even have records.
Yeah,
all these players that can dance and turn flip.
They had a call out for players back. Remember I told you that when JC was wrapping up, he got invited to some tryout at Vanderbilt.
I think about that all the time.
And
you think about it all the time?
I think about it every time we talk about banana ball. I'm like, wow, Speedy's son could be out there.
No, I wasn't saying that, but he turned it down because he had a job opportunity and it was after. And they were calling out because they wanted to start this league and they needed more players to fill teams and all this kind of stuff. But it's part of the Banana Ball Championship League. It's and I guess they travel around and play in smaller venues or bigger venues.
Okay.
I think they're going to be at Truist Field here.
I'm going to try something.
Right?
That was a pop-up, by the way. It was a surprise game, banana ball game in Navasota, Texas.
And it was just two of the other teams. The Bananas weren't out there, right?
No, I think, from what I can understand, it was the Tailgaters versus the Banana.
Really?
But yeah, it was a surprise
remember.
pop-up show. They said, hey, the first 1,000 people that come get into the
That's
game.
all they looked like. There was just about 1,000 people. Okay, all right.
It was a pop-up game.
Wow. Okay. All right, so that answers my question.
Right.
So they do pop-up games as well.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That was the first one.
Maybe? I don't know.
It was a surprise to the high school there.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
That's what that was.
That's interesting. I bet you can get 1,000 pretty quick if you can get 102,000.
They said we will turn people away as soon as we hit 1,000, and they definitely did.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Here's the other thing, Speedy, and this is more personal.
What?
You don't have to speak to everybody.
Oh, I know.
In this building.
Had it happen again today?
Will you please reel it in? I mean, that people are not expecting anything from you and we go out into the...
I hear y'all. Do this right here.
I mean, I've got my Sweet 200 problem, but you got a bigger problem.
I hear y'all talking to me.
Why can't he just do this? Look, when people walk by, you're going to make eye contact.
Yeah, he can't. He's got
Hold on, what am I doing? Looks like you're trying to headbutt the mic.
Well, you're just kind of
what you just did,
like, hey, you're acknowledging
like
them, but you're not talking.
Hey, or you can even go, hey, how y'all
Smile
doing?
a little bit.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, a little far up.
Hey,
okay.
Okay.
Better?
All right, that's
hey,
good.
Can you believe how cool it was over the weekend in May? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So that's where you get in trouble.
Well,
How about Spirit Airlines
Hey, how
getting
are
shut down?
You can even throw a "How are you" in there, maybe.
I normally don't talk in the bathrooms
No,
because
then they're gonna tell you
because
how they are.
now sometimes
Nobody wants to talk in
we'll
there.
come in with some volume and we'll totally take over a room, even the bathroom. We'll come in. You don't
Well,
care
you
if you
need to
see
learn to
shoes
do
or
this.
whatever. And maintenance, building maintenance was here.
Oh, that's the worst.
And
he won't leave them alone.
I know it. No, because I'm the only one who gives them anything.
Not
They
true.
don't You walk right
they're
past
not looking
them. You almost go,
Did
you know what I do?
Did
You know what I do?
I was
Just
like,
right here.
you made the guy uncomfortable.
I did. I believe I
Forced
did.
him to talk.
I think I did because it's Monday. Hey man, how you doing? Oh, good. Getting the week started. Don't know why I
He
said
don't
that.
care.
Have
He
no
knows
idea
it's
why.
Monday. He knows
I
it's
said, what y'all? You being a problem solver today? Don't know why I asked that.
Did you say that?
Yep. I don't know
You
why.
talk about unnecessary.
Because they talked about how they got multiple buildings and they always fixing something. That's what management does.
And it
a lot
confused him when he said that.
Maintenance guys.
What's he talking
And
about?
he goes, yeah, we're getting the irrigation system back on. We've had so much rain, we turned it off. During the rain, turning it back on.
You're having this conversation in the
Yeah,
bathroom?
yeah. Now I'm peeing and he's wrapping up, drying his hands. And I could have just left it there. I don't know why. And then I'm like, yeah, I hate when I look out, my sprinkler system's on, it's raining, I feel like an idiot.
You threw that in there?
And I don't know why I said that. He's like, yeah.
You were
And then now I was
prolonging.
like,
You could have ended this
now
way
I'm holding him up. And I could hear both of you. It's like Rick's on this shoulder, Greg's on this shoulder, and Adler's like on my elbow.
Okay.
And, and it's like I can hear y'all. I can hear you saying,
There's no reason
shut
for
up.
it. You're
now-
exerting a lot of effort.
And now the guy
And now he's like, yeah.
So he had his hands dry and he couldn't
yeah,
get out.
Now he's standing there waiting on me to finish.
Oh my goodness.
He's gracious.
Oh,
I don't know why. I could have
apologize on your behalf.
just done this, right, Greg?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Nodding of the head with a fake smile.
Yeah, kind of a funny, weird smile.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a white person smile. Hang on.
I've even stopped shouting out at him, moving that freight. You know,
You've stopped that. Now you hadn't stopped with Sweet 200.
No, Sweet 200 is part of my ministry.
That's part of the building
Part of
tour
his
for the
ministry.
Vox seats when I give them the tour. That's part of it.
They ask about it.
Where does Rick scare people? Right here.
They do ask.
Right here.
I've been super helpful to people. Need to stop telling people thank you for your service. There's more. There's more.
Yeah, there's a
there's
lot
more
in
agencies
Sweet
in there than just the veterans.
Yeah. I just felt it, so I just want to apologize. I held him up. I know I did. He was standing there waiting, hands dry. He'd already thrown away his little.
Were you too far into the commentary? You could just cut it off.
Well, if I would have, I just like, you know, I'd have done something like
You guys
that.
talking about your own sprinklers at home?
I did.
I can't believe you went to your own sprinklers.
I don't know. Yeah, I hate when I pull up, it's raining and they're on. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Terrible.
I'm just an idiot.
We'll be right back.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
Hey, Rick here. We love Helix Mattresses. Proud to be partnered with them. And there's a Memorial Day sale going on right now. You get 27% off site-wide at helixsleep.com/bigvox. Baby brother Greg and his wife Lisa sleep on one every night. Greg, there's a reason it's the perfect mattress.
It really is. It is so comfortable. You get to pick. What is your preferences? Do you like a hard mattress? Do you like a medium? Do you like a soft? Do you sleep on your back? Do you sleep on your side? They put all that together, and you get the perfect mattress. And we love it, and we get a great night's sleep every night.
They're going to improve your sleep, and they're also going to improve comfort. Now, you'll notice the difference a Helix mattress will make in your life. And let me tell you this, there's 20 unique mattresses, and they'll pair you with the right one. You get up to 120 nights risk-free, and they have the lifetime guarantee on the mattress. Now, inside that 120 nights, you don't like it, and you will, but if you don't, they'll refund the money. They'll ship it to you, by the way, at no cost on shipping. Get yours now at helixsleep.com/bigvox. When it comes to supplements, there are two things that matter most. It works and you can trust it. Both are absolutely essential, and I have been authentically endorsing a Relief Factor for nearly a decade. Why? Because it works, plain and simple. But you may not know that the creator of Relief Factor returned home from Vietnam as a combat veteran, wounded multiple times. He decided to become a doctor simply to help people, to heal them. He created Relief Factor originally just to help his own patients with pain and do it drug-free. But when he saw how well it worked, he decided to make it available to everyone. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free, and it targets the inflammation that causes pain, so you can move better, feel better, and actually enjoy life again. Let's see if you're the next one getting out of pain. Try the 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4, RELIEF. And be sure and tell them that I sent you. Or you can visit RickBurgessShow.com for that info.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash fast for 25 years. We buy old houses, new houses, abandoned houses, all types of houses, and we'll buy your unwanted house for cash fast. If you're relocating, inherited a home you don't want, if you've got a tenant you really don't want, Sell My House Fast will buy it fast. If you're behind on taxes, want to avoid foreclosure, if you're going through a divorce or just need cash fast, we'll buy your house at a fair cash price, and we'll close fast too. Sell with us, and there's no real estate agent, which means no real estate commissions. We'll do all the repairs, all the cleaning, and cleanup. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now to connect with a qualified local buyer. Call 1-800-734-0504. 1-800-734-0504. 1-800-734-0504.
Everybody's talking about weight loss injections because the results are so dramatic. They work by lowering blood sugar and reducing appetite. So what if you're looking to lose weight but not interested in painful weekly injections, especially when you hear about some of those intense side effects? That's why doctors created a weight loss supplement called Lean. And the results are remarkable. The studied ingredients in Lean have been shown to lower your blood sugar, burn fat by converting it into energy, and curb your appetite and cravings so you're not as hungry. But listen, Lean is not for the casual dieter with only a few pounds to lose. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition created Lean for frustrated dieters with 10 or more pounds to lose. Let's get you started with 20% off and free rush shipping so you can add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. Take lean.com and enter the code BIGVOX for 20% off and free rush shipping. That's promo code BIGVOX. TateLean.com. So if you're like me, you're desensitized to dozens of notifications on your phone each day. But if that latest ping is from your security camera, ignoring it could spell disaster. Now picture this, somebody's breaking in, but you're giving a presentation at work, or you're at the movies, or maybe you're on a flight at 30,000 feet. Now you'll see the footage in a couple of hours, but by then it's too late. That's why we choose Simply Safe. Simply Safe is a customizable whole security system backed by 24/7 monitoring agents you can rely on to act even when you can't. Simply Safe is so confident that you'll love it, they don't lock you into a contract. They back it with an anti-theft guarantee. While other security companies trap you, Simply Safe earns your trust every day. It's no wonder millions trust it. And while U.S. News and World Report just named Simply Safe the best home security system of 2026. Now, go to simplysafe.com/BigVox and get 50% off any new system. That's simplysafe.com/BigVox.
The world's greatest garage band is hitting the stage for the first time in 23 years. Be there to see Mr. Lucky live in concert. Get your tickets now for the Are You Ready Tour at RickBurgessShow.com.
All right, so as we work our way back, also a reminder, and this is kind of cool. I know Mother's Day's coming. You want to be a hero? An opportunity kind of just fell into our lap here on this cruise that Sherry and I are doing in the fall. We thought we were all booked out, ready to go, and the wonderful people at Oceana Cruises, because we're not taking the entire ship. We were just allotted a few cabins for us to all spend some time together, and they came back to us and said, you know what? We've got some cabins that have become available. Would y'all like to put them in your group? And we're like, well, yeah. And some of you have already responded and grabbed a cabin. Maybe when you found out about this opportunity, you realized, I think I can do the cruise. Back when you first brought it up, I couldn't. What about Mom going? Have you thought about that? You think she wouldn't love this? We'll leave from Istanbul, Turkey. We'll end up in Trieste, Italy. We'll go to Montenegro, Croatia, Greece. This is a luxury cruise line, so the ships are smaller, not as many people. Also, you don't get nickeled and dimed. Included in the price, all 8 restaurants, as many times as you want to eat there. Some of the best food on the sea. These are award-winning chefs in their restaurants. Then you don't have any gratuities. Nobody's always trying to hit you with tip me for this and tip me for that. All that's included. There's a $400 credit you could get toward an excursion if you're someone that says, look, I don't drink, so I don't have any interest in any of that's on the ship. That'd be wonderful. Just take that $400 excursion credit and find a nice little getaway or an adventure on one of our stops. We'll get to see some of the biblical history in this part of the world. Incredible. Sherry and I are already excited. We've already booked the excursion to go to the ruins of Ephesus. So go right now to rickburgesshow.com. There are cabins available. I don't think there's a lot of them, but there's a few I think still available. Mom would love this, or go for yourself. And you'll see the link there. Click on it. There's even a toll-free number to call 3 of our trip advisors that are standing by just to talk about our trip. Free Starlink Wi-Fi on the cruise. I'll be broadcasting from the cruise back to the guys here, and we'll all get to spend some time together. So go to rickburgesshow.com, little opportunity that kind of came out of nowhere. Or you can go to oceanacruises.com/bigvox. A couple of things to cover today that we haven't gotten into. John Gruden's son, video 12, and then video 13 as well to follow. John Gruden's son is the Raiders' strength and conditioning coach. His name is Coach Deuce. They call him Deuce. Is that what you have here?
It's in Frank Caliendo, is it?
With that, you never know. It is Deuce. Is that right?
Deuce.
I think it's Deuce Gruden.
Deuce Gruden. How about that?
Okay.
So he's 5'6".
So he's tall.
181.
Straight up.
Right. And he won a powerlifting, we set a powerlifting record last night for his weight class in Las Vegas. We're going to watch Deuce Gruden at 5'6", 181. He is about to power lift on a 483-pound bench press.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Good night. Look at that. And
strong drive off the chest.
Boy, he doesn't have to go up much.
That's back to the short arms again.
He's got short arms.
Short arms.
But the dude is a unit.
That's Gruden. It's Gruden, guys.
He looks just like him.
It's young
in
Gruden.
He could be his son.
Look,
Deuce Gruden.
Bench pressing 483 is impressive, but I will have to say he didn't have very long arms.
No, he's just got to go.
Wide grip, too. Wide grip.
I mean, he could go way more than that.
That's a lot of weight, guys.
Ton of
That's
weight.
a lot of weight. I certainly can't.
I tell you.
Back in '84 maybe, but
lifted, son.
So, and now to make us all feel like we got work to do.
Expecting that.
No, I wouldn't either. Taiwanese grandmothers, age 89 and 91, training at the gym.
Please look at the
Taiwanese grandmothers.
Look at oh my goodness, they're deadlifting.
Look you go, girl.
Look at
Konnichiwa.
That is awesome.
At home, I cook and feed my husband, so my whole body takes on, I'm sorry, a lot of things. But my younger sister, who comes and trains here, gets good results.
Adler, I mean.
So she and my daughter encourage me to.
Guys, she's wearing clothing like she would read a book to you as her grandchild, sitting in her chair after quilting, and she's in there working out, looking like everybody's grandma.
Yeah.
Except only.
I'll say they don't look 91.
She didn't even wear gloves.
Easy.
What are we doing?
Hammer here.
What are we doing?
Well, no, what are we doing?
Associated Press? More like Associated Perverts.
What are we doing?
And she got something going on with her hands.
Look at her go. 30 kilograms. Oh.
She said, Granny, can you lift this? And then she said, of course I can. And she did. So, how about that?
That's impressive.
It's never too late, guys.
It's never too late.
I'm going to start working out when I turn 80.
Right. Now,
wait till then.
Look at what are we doing there?
That's some type of kettlebell.
Well, I'll tell you
Those
how do
women
I
were more
say
impressive.
this?
Easy.
No, I'm just saying Asians wear masks.
They do.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they've been.
And it's like they did it before even COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
They wore masks when masks weren't cool.
Oh, it's because the air quality in China is so bad. Honestly, like people wear it just for pollution, and then it's carried over to society.
The Asians, they really believe in the mask.
They really do.
They do. And I know some are brothers and sisters too as well. They're still clinging to the mask a little bit.
They wear it on the chin too. It's not.
If you're gonna wear the mask,
doesn't help. Doing a thing.
Doesn't help if it's a chin strap.
No.
Doesn't help if you even have it on.
Right. There is that.
As far as viruses.
Unless you,
Bacteria might help a little bit, but not so much on a virus.
I wonder if there's
or
like
allergens.
Today is going to be the day that a person chooses to not wear the mask. Like they've been wearing it since COVID, and then they just take it off, and they're going to be like, "Wow, I can breathe and like not have this sweaty thing on my face all the time."
Yeah.
Today could be that day for someone.
Yeah. Well, but my favorite too is the dirty mask. I got a dirty mask on, and it's on my chin.
Yeah.
And it's filthy.
Not the best.
Keep using.
None of that is good.
Not the best.
It's hurting you, not helping you.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's even headlines today as we continue to, well, now that y'all brought COVID up, which is, let's just call it, COVID's down.
I'm sorry, I saw one of the trainers, he had a mask on helping him.
Right, but
He did.
But let's just be honest, COVID's a downer. But now they're and this is not a surprise. I mean, we're not going to delve deep in it because it's not surprising. Did the Biden administration purposely? Did they do it on purpose? Did they purposefully ignore COVID vaccine side effects? Well, of course they did. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know we were not allowed to say that, but now suddenly I guess we're allowed to say it. They're saying in an effort to promote the COVID vaccines to the general public, there were many forms that were used to do this. Experts like Fauci downplayed the extreme difference in risk between age groups, asserting that everyone should be vaccinated, regardless of youth or lack of any other health-related risk factors. The former CDC director made the completely unsupported claim that vaccinated people don't carry the virus and don't get sick. Those, of course, were false.
Yep.
And Joe Biden said that unvaccinated people should prepare for a winter of severe illness and death. That also was incorrect. He tried to force all private businesses with more than 100 employees to mandate vaccines. There were vaccine passports, university mandates, of course. One of my sons got caught up in that. The Pinnacle, is it Nadir? Nadir, I don't know what that was. The vaccine on Stephen Colbert's show was ridiculous. And so then there were the side effects from the vaccine. And more evidence has shown that there was an intentional game plan to suppress any talk, any discussion, bringing into the light in any way, shape, or form the potential side effects of the vaccine itself. I don't think any of us are surprised by that, but there is a report that is out now on how the system that we just mentioned purposefully ignored the information that they were even being given about potential side effects. And they're saying, rightfully so, people could have made their own choice about the vaccine. But as we've said 1,000 times, we even say this, even though we believe life begins at conception. I can't for the life of me, and you should never trust anybody that while you're making the choice that you think you should have, and in vaccines we absolutely all should have had a choice, that we all should make informed choices. And anybody who wants us to make a choice, extremely important choices, and they try to suppress information from us, you can't trust those people. Let us all make these choices, but let's make informed choices. Yeah. And anybody that says, no, I don't want you to be informed, but I still, I want to try to pressure you into making a preferred choice, that's wicked. That's evil. And it should not, no one should be okay with that. No matter where you are on the spectrum of beliefs and all these things. How can anybody be okay with people not being told? I mean, have you ever been to the hospital and they wouldn't tell you things that could happen? We're always told that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you go, well, the odds of that are pretty low. Well, we should have been told about the vaccine.
Yeah.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Term apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code COVER to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code COVER to borrow up to $10,000. Use code COVER to borrow up to $10,000.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code COVER to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code COVER to borrow up to $10,000. Use code COVER to borrow up to $10,000.
Imagine visiting destinations in Turkey that are cornerstones of the Christian faith. Come travel with Sherry and me in September. You'll experience all of this and more as we enjoy time together cruising the southern Mediterranean on the all-new Oceana Allura ship with stops in Turkey, Greece, Montenegro, Italy, and Croatia. This is one bucket list itinerary. We'd love to have you part of this special trip. You can find out more by going to oceanacruises.com/bigvox or go to rickburgesshow.com. With Mother's Day coming up, what a great time to find a gift that actually fits into your mom's everyday life. It's a thoughtful Mother's Day gift that fits easily into her routine, and honestly, it's also great to pick one up if you want a pair for yourself too. And right now, you can grab them for 15% off at buyraycon.com/bigvox. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, packed with upgrades. They've got the active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity so you can pair 2 devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic design that stays put. Plus, Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but at half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee, and there's zero reason to overpay. Celebrate the moms in your life. Just go to buyraycon.com/bigvox and get 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. Buyraycon.com/bigvox for 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now. now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-769-7340. That's 800-769-7340. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-769-7340.
Go, 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 go. Can you imagine being on stage with the entire Rick Burgess Show team? It could happen. Just get your tickets now to the Are You Ready Tour at rickburgessshow.com.
All right, so great Mother's Day gift to send Mama to the tour in the fall. Some stories out there that are brewing today. I thought this was, the term highly disrespectful was a little strong here, involving Matthew Stafford. Is it Stafford, did I say his last name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stafford.
Make sure you say Matthew.
I know. Do you think, what is she so upset about?
I don't know.
Kelly Stafford, the wife of Los Angeles Rams star Matthew Stafford, made this crystal clear for all of you, Greg.
What I do?
You'll do it.
She believes it is highly disrespectful. I think she's about to tell us that people give him a nickname or call him something off color. For you to call her husband Matt.
Yeah, what?
It's got to be Matthew, Greg.
It's got to be Matthew.
Don't shorten
highly
it.
offensive.
Don't go Matt.
Well, look, I understand.
I've always heard it Matthew. I mean,
but here's the thing: highly offensive. I mean,
That's not highly offensive
why not just say?
Just go. Hey, he goes by Matthew.
No, I was talking to a person.
He's never going by Matt.
I was talking to a person on the phone that was, representing one of the banks that I bank with, and said, "Hey, let's find your account. Can you give me your name?" And I said, Richard Lawson Burgess. And this, I really appreciate this. He goes, "Okay, is there anything we have? Do you go by anything?" I said, "Well, I go by Rick." He stopped me. He goes,